Go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want. Because they have to consider, like, I say that all out as a joke, but it's actually very, very true, because if you start to consider the people who are player and audience facing,
bring it.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, right.
Is that? But we can. But they can't. I'm confused.
Yeah.
I do hope you've prepared dessert as well.
Well, you look in the bed and somebody will be gone. They'll go get the top, get
Let us first of all establish what this video is about. Although Stellar Blade is not yet released for people watching this in the future, it's out on the 26th, it does hold a lot of similarities with some games that are already out, particularly with a game called Bayonetta, but there are some nuanced differences. I want to go through them and persuade everybody that they need to purchase this piece of software. It's unbelievable value for money, it's not limited, and it's got two of the best games on the 9th generation systems on it. My name is Couch Coop and I review single player, local co-op and split screen PS4, PlayStation 5 and Game Pass video games. Click the like and subscribe button. I'm a big fan of Platinum and all of the other ARPGs that surround the genre. Stellar Blade has got Souls-like elements. Bayonetta does not. It's strictly campaign, move forward, save and load as you would traditionally with older video games. With Stellar Blade there's a bit of risk on getting to the bonfire equivalents and having to restart a level if you don't make it to that save point. It works in the demo, we'll only see if it stands the test of time in full game, i.e. have they blended those mechanics in with that Souls-like element well. Looking at the demo, and the difficult thing to do about this demo is not to gush about it early. I've had my fingers burned so badly with demos from previous games. I'm deliberately holding back on saying how wonderful that demo actually plays, looks and feels. Let's talk about that intro, because you might be thinking, what on earth was that all about? When Bayonetta came out in 2009, it was released with almost zero amount of controversy. There were a few journalists who were like, oh my god, look at this scantily clad witch and how strange all of that Japanese craziness is. They kept it over there on that shelf, but now things have got really out of hand, with poisonous politics pushers infecting the industry and forcing game developers to tone down their female form. Sane journalists refuse to slate games like Bayonetta and Nier Automata because they're damned amazing pieces of software, and they know that, and that's why they've been kept away from their fan insulting, fun destroying, scathing gaze. Let's talk about exactly what Bayonetta is. Stellar Blade comes with a focus button. That's another one of its Souls analogies. You can focus on a single enemy and switch out during combat. On Bayonetta it's more of an old school system. It feels a little bit more like a modern Devil May Cry game than it does a Souls-like. You do have a focus button, there is projectile weaponry, and you do have the keepy uppy mechanic that we saw Dante indulge in so brilliantly, but there's also amazing technical prowess and extreme high speed dodge and slowdown mechanics which are instigated by your reaction speed. I forgot how flawlessly it implements weapon stealing from the enemies and using them, and then the movesets applied to those temporary weapons picked up. That doesn't include the unlocked weapons that you get back at your hub. Also, the fucking speed of the damn thing. Few games keep up with this blistering pace. You have to have your eyes peeled whilst playing this, particularly on some of the harder difficulties, and every single level comes with an accolade, and it's harsh as hell. I barely got through bronze in recent playthrough. Also got an identical moveset and upgrade system to the Devil May Cry games. You could go through this without spending a single dime on developing your character's moveset and still manage, but you'd be pressing the same selection of buttons for near on 15 hours. Some of the stuff you can purchase and the ludicrousy you can get your character to attempt is well worth the spend. Just swinging back to Digital Foundry and to Stellar Blade, and I'm using some of their footage because they've measured those frame rates. There's 3 modes of quality on that demo, which is pretty amazing. Talking of amazing, I released a video about one of their employees waxing lyrical about the female form and putting his foot in it quite largely, and this is what they say about it. This is what Digital Foundry said about their own person, Alex.
Yes, a lot of attention has been paid so far in social media circles to the fan service aspects of the character designs. But even subtracting that design choice, on a tech level, Stellar Blade has a lot of quality on show to celebrate.
Social media circles? You mean your employee, Alex, getting on a stream and started slating Eve's body shape, reckoning it was fantasy and unreal, and it's just... The comedy writes itself. At the moment, I swear we've moved into a parallel universe where we don't have to write comedy anymore. People out there are obliviously doing it for us.
Hair, eyes, and even the rubber material on their suits.
Was or is Bayonetta based on a real life person on a mapping front? You know what? I don't know, and didn't actually check that. I wanted to also talk about the sequel. Why are you standing against the wall? Okay, because it's marooned over on my Wii U. I do like the game. The third one is probably the weakest of the trilogy, but I wanted to get to the outfits. It's got an unlockable Princess Peach in it that you just can't unsee. And the Link one, I missed out on cosplay for that. 3 unlockable costumes in the Stellar Blade demo have already caused the old lips to go flapping, pun intended. They are amazing, and they're consequence to also some pretty up-to-date physics, engines. Everything is very much looking like that main character has got some development behind them when it comes to changing their appearance, looks, or even an incentive on unlockables. I kind of miss that in video games at the moment, having that idea of complete cosmetic change as an unlockable incentive. My point with this being, nothing was ever said against Bayonetta's cosmetic choice, unlockables, even the crossovers.
If I was your child, I'd be an awfully ugly witch, wouldn't I? Yours is a face only a mother could love.
Did want to mention Bayonetta's plot. It is actually completely reversed and satanic. You're playing against Christianity almost, as this Umbra witch and God or celestial beings ascending their sort of protectors, real life biblically accurate angels. The whole thing is as dark as it sounds. And there's also excellent reveals on each new unique enemy that you come across. If you got that audio reference on that little cutscene just then you're where you need to be. You're probably a subscriber, you're probably damn clued up with what good video games are all about. Now let's get to meta, let's get to how frantic this combat actually gets. And back to the reveal of that sword earlier with the jump and slam. My god, getting given a new weapon, the katana I forgot about, the whips coming up, it is all amazing stuff. On replay, it has become apparent to me that the game has got a ridiculous amount of sub-boss and repeat boss levels. That's not a complaint, but it's just almost Shadow of the Colossus like, with every turn having a big boss fight area or arena in it. I do love the granular stuff when you're killing the smaller enemies and dealing with multiple threats from different directions, but some of the instigated kills and slams and death scenes in this game have not been equaled since 2009. That's a damn long time ago. When that thing's introduced and the first thing it goes to do is insta-kill you with its tail. There's a panther like this in Vanquish actually. I love these mid-tier enemies. It always puts 2 of them on as well, ups the ante, may queue them all up. It's just excellent how much it gives you and when in the game. It's got a perfect difficulty curve. Let's stay in this combat meta discussion and difficulty and curve. Stellar Blade's going to be under a lot of pressure to produce really good game-changing weaponry. The outfits maybe not, but the perks and what this game needs to hang off with, unlockables, it's going to be a huge section of the game. That's why I'm not sort of gushing out of every orifice over the demo, because what happens in mid to end game of Stellar Blade with the aforementioned is extremely important. And the only way we're going to work out if that's a thing that is working is to get our hands on the main product. There's a move that you can buy in the central hub, and it involves you spinning on your back and firing your stilettos out, and it ends with a photo shot, but you're not immune, and I managed to pull off a dodge just after soaking as much out of that move as I possibly could. And you also find yourself trying to end the bout with one of said shots. So is Stellar Blade going to be better than Bayonetta? Well, graphically, of course, but the meta, they're kind of different animals slightly. The Souls-like elements of Stellar Blade may take it further with something that I enjoy. But Bayonetta is a platinum classic, a true gem in our recent gaming history, and you must not miss out on it. Even the second one is totally worth viewing. The intensity of its sister title, Vanquish, has also not been equaled on an adrenaline cover-based shooter front. The Wonderful 101 was probably the last decent video game I saw come out of Platinum Studios, but Vanquish, Bayonetta, and the Wonderful 101 will always be staples on my channel. Right, I'll do the outro, and we are all going to enjoy Stellar Blade.
I've got a fever.
Can you not do that,
and
mate?
the only
When I'm...
cure is more dead angels.
Hold on. So we're gonna go back. So the last thing I'm gonna do is finish Bayonetta again, just to make double sure, before the 26th.
I've got a fever, and the only cure is more dead angels.
For the 26th, and I thoroughly recommend you guys do the same. I have been Couch Coop. I will of course see you down there.
You want to watch things and play things and do things that look like you. And what's really funny to me is, right, them being like, I don't want your forced woke narratives into my games.